All right. This looks like a big one. Get some water. Here we go. All right. Everybody can hear me. Everything's recording. Double check. Do this one time and one time only. Make sure that our audio levels are good. Not too loud. See? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1. Check real quick. Do this one time and one time only. Make sure that our audio levels are good. Not too loud. See? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1. Alrighty. Here go. All right, welcome everybody. We've got gameplay update 7.25. We are in the midst of a global pandemic, and so Valve decided to give us some time to digest. Start that over one more time. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another video, and this is going to be on gameplay update 7.25. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, and that means we've got a lot of time on our hands, so that also means Valve has decided to drop a huge patch for Dota 2 and kind of shake up the game. We've got a lot of time to digest this now, lots of games to play between now and the next competitive event. So why not drop a game-changing patch? 7.25, as the name indicates, means that it's not a numbers patch. It's going to be a big change patch since there's a whole new decimal placement. And so let's get right into the general changes. All pick hero picking has been reworked. Now has 5 rounds. Each round, Radiant and Dire pick one hero each at the same time, and selections each team makes are hidden until the next round. If a duplicate pick occurs, the player who picked it second will be given some extra time to select another hero. So basically, this is to make it so counter picking is less impactful in terms of, it's not like you pick a hero and then immediately 2 people counter pick. Picking at the same time, and then the next round people can counter you, and then the next round after that people can counter that. But it's going to try and, I guess, equalize the level at which stuff can be counterpicked in pubs. They've also reworked how hero banning works in all pick. Previously, half the voted heroes would get banned. Now each ban has a 50% chance of succeeding. If there are less than 10 heroes banned, heroes will automatically roll for banning based on their ban rate at your MMR bracket. So it's actually going to be impacted by the ban rate in every different MMR bracket, which means that portal level pubs, the heroes that everybody's banning in pro games are probably going to be banned pretty significantly. So Snapfire, goodbye. Nyx Assassin, goodbye. Batrider, goodbye. At least before we get to the hero changes, maybe those heroes are already nerfed enough to where they don't need to get banned. But this is really big changes for how matchmaking works, how pubs are going to work. That's kind of exciting, and we're going to have to play a bunch of games to figure it out from there. Power runes initially spawn at 4 minutes now instead of 2, but the subsequent spawns are still every 2 minutes. So just less impact on that first couple of levels, which probably for the best. Mid lane was definitely being impacted too much by somebody getting a regen or a double damage early on. Power runes also no longer spawn on both sides of the map at 40 minutes. So we're never going to have these like GG runes necessarily. It's going to be less likelihood of there being a DD, less likelihood of some game-winning rune combination being picked up to just end the game there. Removed the team-based rubber band mechanic for hero kills. So the formula has been reworked and simplified below. So before, there was a whole level of if you killed somebody that was on the other team and the other team was ahead of you and they were much higher net worth than you get some absurd amount of gold and experience and that kind of stuff. And it's now just been simplified, so none of this is relevant anymore. It is now just 50 gold in an AoE plus the victim's net worth times 0.03 divided by the number of heroes that are present. So just much more simple. If the hero is super high net worth and there's only one hero present, you're still going to get a lot of gold, but it's going to be a lot easier to kind of understand what's going on with gold mechanics. So crazy comeback factor where you rank on your net worth versus where you rank the hero that you're killing ranks on their team's net worth and that kind of stuff. We also have a change to how hero kill sprees and gold bounties have been calculated as well. Instead of being 60 plus all of this stuff, it's now 480 for a just flat. Oh, sorry. Actually, it's hero kill sprees gold bounty has been increased from 60 scaling to 480 to 200 scaling to 690. So as a base, if somebody has a killing spree, get 200 gold bonus. And that scales all the way up to 690 for the highest kill spree. The kill spree's EXP bounty has also been increased from 400 scaling to 1800 to 500 scaling to 2040. So this was already pretty nuts in terms of if you killed somebody who had a killing spree, you would get like 2 levels. And that's going to be even more so if you can solo kill somebody who has a big killing spree. Even if your team can, find the hero that's been snowballing and then kill them, you're going to get a big boost in levels in. It's just a simplified calculation now instead of all this crazy stuff that we had before. Captain's mode now has ban counts per phase changed from 3-2-1 to 4-1-1. So first phase bans are now more extensive in Captain's mode. In the pro scene, we're going to see people being able to ban out more imbalanced heroes. But then as the game progresses, you're going to be able to counter ban a little bit less, which means that counter picking will be a little bit easier to do in the second phase since you're only able to ban out one hero instead of 2. That might protect your draft. Random draft hero pool has been reduced from 50 to 40, so less choices. This really only affects Chinese pubs, actually, more than anything else. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what happens there. Radiant Ancient creeps are now easier to stack. Thank God for that. It was way, way, way too hard to stack them more times, whereas the Dire Ancient camps were super easy. You get like 5 stacks pretty easily. Tier 1 neutral item drop rates have been increased from 10 to 40%, so you'll get them a little bit easier. Fountain attack damage has been increased from 275 to 300. Neutral creep frost armor slow, so this is basically only relevant for Chen, Enchantress, and Doom. Has been reduced a little bit, and the armor has also been reduced from 65. Illusion Rune now has similar cast mechanics to Manta, so it will shuffle where your unit appears, and it will also allow you to disjoint stuff. So if you have an Illusion Rune in a bottle, you can now Manta dodge skills, which is kind of an interesting change, but also a big buff for Illusion Rune, I guess. And bottle, for that matter. That's kind of cool. Onto the item changes. Faded Brooch. Mana has been reduced from 225 to 200. So slight nerf to this item. It was very, very good. Iron Talon now works on Ancients. Wow, that is a big buff to this item. You can now clear Ancient stacks. Or not stacks necessarily, but individual Ancient camps much more quickly since you are able to use the, what's it called? The chop mechanic. Cut their HP in half. Poor Man's Shield. Agility has been increased, so slight buff to Poor Man's Shield. Philosopher's Stone gold income has been increased from 70. Row of Bow attack speed has been increased from 10 to 15. Nethershell magic resistance has been increased from 20 to 25. Spider Legs turn rate has been increased from plus 30% to plus 50%, so you're really able to just spin in circles now. Passive movement speed has also been increased from 24% to 28%. Repair Kit self-regen has been increased from plus 17 to plus 20. Enchanted Quiver cooldown has been reduced from 8 to 6. Havoc Hammer knockback area has been increased from 300 to 350. Slow now affects attack speed as well. So 50% attack speed slow and movement speed slow for 3 seconds is pretty bananas. Seems like a reasonably good item for somebody that's going to be blinking in, and then you can slow people as if you were basically master using Thunderclap. They're really trying to get this item to be a viable hero, viable item, but we'll see. Most people opt for not picking this one up. Flicker cooldown has been reduced from 5 to 4. Range has been reduced from 6 to 450, so you won't blink as far, which is a good or a bad thing depending on whether you get good RNG or not. But the cooldown has been reduced to 4, so you're actually able to kind of like zip around fights potentially and dispel yourself a lot. The leveler attack speed has been increased from 50 to 60. Minotaur Horn spell immunity duration has been increased from 1.75 seconds to 2. So lots of buffs to the neutral items so far. Witless Shaco, health increased from 1,000 to 1,200. Tearstone now provides plus 10 mana regeneration in addition to the cast range and vision bonus. Ballista knockback pure damage has been increased from 30 to 40, and Woodland Striders health regen has been increased as well. So tier 5 item buffs are, I guess, fine. I mean, they're very rarely picked up because very rarely games get that far, but I mean, I wouldn't know from my own experience whether these items needed to be buffed or not, because I've only played like two items with tier 5, or 2 games with tier 5 items my entire Dota career so far. Town Portal cost has been increased from 50 to 90, so we are now finally nerfing TP scroll again. And here is a huge change. Boots of Travel no longer has an active, meaning that you don't have 2 teleports anymore. Instead, it upgrades Town Portal scroll while equipped, reduces its cooldown to 40 seconds, allows it to target units, and does not consume a charge on usage. The speed has been increased to 38.44%. But the biggest thing is that you can't have two TP scrolls anymore. So no more TP back to base with your TP scroll and then TP back to your team with Boots of Travel. It's 40-second cooldown. Really big nerf to Boots of Travel. Tinker will be unaffected, but everyone else who is abusing this, get back to Fountain for a quick regen and then back to lanes, is going to suffer pretty heavily from this nerf. I mean, it's still a great item just because 40-second TP is insane, plus being able to TP onto creeps, but making it significantly less broken is probably a good idea. Speaking of broken items, Javelin has been reduced. The bonus damage has been reduced from 100 to 80 magic damage per proc. Mjolnir has had the attack speed reduced from 75 to 65. Orb of Venom damage per second has been reduced from 5 to 2. The melee slow has been increased, however, from 12 to 15%, and the slow duration has been reduced from 3 to 2. So more of a chasing item, more of an item for roamers, less of an item for, like harassing in lane, I guess. It's essentially, it does no damage now, but it does allow you to stick on top of people. So the function is the same, but it's just less impactful in terms of how much damage it does. Ring of Regen cost has been reduced from 50 to 25, so Tranquils are cheaper, Force Staff is cheaper, Headdress cheaper. The Headdress no longer requires an Iron Branch, no longer provides 3 stats. HP regen has been increased from 2 to 2.5. So they're trying to make people have to buy these stat items again instead of just buying Headdress and Basilius and Buckler. As we can see, Sage's Mask regen has been increased from 0.75 to 1. Cost has been reduced from 50 to 225. So we're going to see a shakeup of starting items. I don't really know where it's going to go yet. Maybe more regen is necessary. Maybe more Iron Branches. I'm not totally sure without playing some games. Ring of Basilius no longer requires an Iron Branch, no longer provides 3 stats. On regen aura has been increased, however, from 1.5 to 1.4. Buckler no longer requires an Iron Branch, no longer provides 3 all stats. Recipe cost has been reduced from 300 to 5, and the armor has been increased. Heroes and player units only from 2 to 2.5. Vladimir's offering all stats has been reduced from 6 to 5, and the mono regen has been increased from 1.25 to 1.5. Veil of Discord mono regen also been increased from 1.25 to 1.5. So these are kind of just counteract what's happening. Smaller items. Start building more Wraith Bands and Null Talismans and Bracers again, or are these items still good enough to build and maybe pick up one stat item as well instead of just going for these. Should be interesting to see how that develops. Bloodthorn now requires Hyperstone instead of a Chrysalis. Attack damage has been reduced from plus 75 to 30. Attack speed, however, has been increased from 30 to 85, and no longer has a passive critical strike chance. Battle Fury now requires Broadsword and Mythic Hammer instead of Demon Edge and Recipe. Broadsword, wow, interesting. Okay, Broadsword, but they didn't nerf the damage that Battle Fury. Huh. Okay. Broadsword cost has been reduced from 1200 to 1000. Damage has been reduced from 18 to 16. Chrysalis recipe cost has been increased from 500 to 700. The damage has been reduced from 45 to 34. Very good. This item was way too cheap for what it did. Critical strike chance has been increased from 20% to 30%. Very high crit chance on this item. Vanguard no longer has a 200 gold recipe. Recipe cost has been increased on Crimson Guard by 200. Thistleblade recipe cost has been increased by 200 to compensate for that. Eagle Song cost has been reduced from 3,200 to 3,000. Butterfly agility has been reduced from 35 to 30. Ethereal Blade blast primary attribute damage has been 200% to 150%. The damage base, however, has been increased by 50. So kind of a nerf to Morphling. Aya and Sanj. Mana loss reduction increased from 16% to 18%. Spell amplification has been increased from 12% to 15%. Yashikaya, similar buffs. Basically just buffs to Kaya. Components of these. Nullifier no longer mutes enemies. Now continuously dispels the target instead. Duration has been reduced from 6 to 5. Low, so still is good against like Ghost Scepters and that kind of stuff. Yule Scepter. Low has been reduced from 100% for 0.4 seconds to 80% for 5 seconds. Cooldown has been reduced from 13 to 11. 13 to 11. Cast range has been increased from 600 to 900. Armor increased from 5 to 8. Damage has been increased from 65 to 80. So still be able to like force staff out of Ricky Cloud, but if you don't have a force staff, this is definitely a really good item for Ruby to have because of the continuous dispel. Really good against Ghost Scepters. Good against heroes that buff, so like Sven, even that kind of stuff. But no longer muting is a pretty big deal. Force staff cast range has been reduced from 750 to 550. Still 850 for enemies. No longer undispellable. So you can dispel people mid force staff. Okay, so this is kind of to react to Nullifier. So you nullify somebody, they use force staff. The initial push, I guess, will start, but then they'll be dispelled immediately afterwards. Is that what's happening? I guess. Interesting. Hurricane Pike allied cast range has been well. Glimmer Cape cast range has been reduced from 800 to 550. So cast range talents and Aether Lens are going to be really important for supports because it's going to be a lot harder to save people with only 550 cast range is really you have to be super close to people. That's kind of an interesting change. So immediately move every single support that has a cast range talent up, I would say, just based off the fact that they're going to be able to save people a lot easier than other supports. Observer Ward Vision has been reduced from 1600 to 1400. Holy Locket recipe has been reduced from 800 to 500. Probably still won't be bought. Necronomicon gold and EXP bounties have been reduced on the units by 50 at each level. Recipe cost has been reduced by 50. Aeon Disc cooldown has been reduced from 115 to 105. Silver Edge debuff now produces regen and heals by 50%. So, wow. That's nuts. So is Spirit Vessel just completely irrelevant at this point? I feel like, why would you ever buy a Spirit Vessel when you buy Silver Edge to break them and also reduce their healing? And it would last for 4 seconds. Silver Edge is insane. This is so good now. Clarity duration has been reduced from 50 to 30 seconds. The mana regeneration has been increased, so clarities are probably just better. Just better all around. I'd much rather have faster regen item. Infused raindrops mana regen has been increased to 0.9 per second from 0.5. Bottle cost has been reduced by 25. Medallion of Courage mana regeneration has been increased to compensate for the Sage's Mask. Same with Solar Crest. Ring of Health HP regen has been increased by 0.5 per second. Cost has been reduced. Voidstone cost has been reduced. Perseverance reflects the HP regen increase. Same with Hood of Defiance. Same with Pipe. Pipe also no longer provides 3 stats. Lotus Orb mana cost has been increased. Doubled it, in fact, actually. So, fairly impactful since mostly a strength hero item. So, additional 75 mana could be a big deal. To Lotus Orb. Helm of Iron Will. HP regen has been increased 5, and the cost has been increased by 25 gold. Ring of Tarask. Cost has been reduced. HP regen has been increased, so just strict buffs to this. Tranquil Boots HP regen has been reduced from 16 to 4. Alright. You guys still with me here? Yeah, Silver Edge does both now. Crazy. Crazy change. Alright. Abaddon. Level 25 talent. Increased from 375 AoE Mistcoil to 425. A lot of healing. Certainly. Level 25 talent. The Aphotic Shield health is pretty nuts. Alchemist agility gain has been increased by 0.3 per level. Arc Warden base movement speed has been increased by 5. Still very slow. Batrider Firefly movement speed has been reduced by 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. Lane break impact damage has been reduced. Nerfs the bat. He's probably still a good hero. Most of the time when they tweak these numbers a little bit, not that big of a deal until they do it several times. Beastmaster base attack speed has been increased from 100 to 10. Wild Axe's damage type changed from physical to magical. Duration of the debuff has been increased by 2 seconds. And it no longer pierces spell immunity. So BKB will protect you from this. Bloodseeker Blood Rage heal has been rescaled. Be even worse at early levels. Scaling back to where it was, 25%, but starting at 10% now. So nerfs to Blood Rage. Bounty Hunter reworked the Scepter. Now applies Janata to Shuriken Toss. Increases cast range to 650 and lowers cooldown to 6. What? I assume it also steals the gold, since that's what Janata does. So, you're going to crit everybody. I assume it scales off your attack damage. I'll have to try this out. But, yeah, let's just try it out right now. Why not? Interesting.
I'll take the job.
This. Pick up a scepter.
Every penny.
Enemy. Enemy.
On the
Enemy.
move.
Prepare for battle.
Slice is nice.
It does steal their gold. No way. Okay, and then if I get a rapier,
Divine rapier.
just kill them all. base damage? Oh, it just does 160 bonus damage. Okay, so basically makes Shuriken do 160 extra bonus damage and steals their gold. That's pretty cool.
By authority of
Interesting
the realm,
change, but I
shall
mean,
hunt
I feel like
them
that makes the
down.
scepter instead of double bouncing. I mean, really interesting change. Okay, anyway, Shuriken Toss Monocost has been increased, or has been reduced. Scale now from 120 up to 135, instead of being 135 flat. Talents. Level 15 talent has been changed from 50 attack speed to plus 75 shuriken damage. And level 20 talent has been changed from 125 shuriken toss damage plus 60 attack speed. So trying to push Bounty Hunter more towards this like caster, I guess. Attack speed is much later on. I thought that his attack speed talent was at level 15. So interesting. Have to see how this changes the hero. Brewmaster Primal Split Fire Breathing damage has been increased. Fire Immolation has been changed from 1 second to 0.5, so it kicks faster, does more damage. Level talents 20 increase the level 20 talent increased from 115 or 1500 health to Primal Split units to 1750. So more buffs. The Brew and level 25 talent increased from 65 Primal Split cooldown back up to 75. Didn't these used to be like 80 or something like that when the hero could permanently be Primal Split? So really trying to buff Broodmaster to be strong again. Broodmother, but definitely late game. Not much changed early on. Broodmother level 10 talents has been increased at level 10 from 100 health to 250. Chaos Knight Phantasm cooldown has been reduced to scale now down to 125 at max level. Reality Rift cast range has been increased at all levels. Blink's Death Pact no longer has neutral level requirement, so you can just eat whatever creep you want. And Burning Armory damage has been increased from 28% to 30%. Crystal Maiden Freezing Field Scepter Frostbite Timer has been reduced. So applies to Aghanim's very, very small buff, or yeah, small buff to Crystal Maiden. Darkseer Surge movement speed changed from plus 70% to plus 250. So just flat movement speed, meaning it's not quite as good with Spirit Breaker, for example. Surge cooldown. It just scales less well in the game, I suppose. Well, Surge cooldown increased from 16 scaling to 10 to 19 scaling to 10, so worse at level 1, 2, 3. Talents. Level 10 talent changed from plus 90 damage to plus 125 Ion Shell radius. Wow, they actually gave him a useful talent at level 10. That is amazing. So they nerf Surge, but they also buff him because he actually has a real talent at level 10 now. With this weird 90 damage. That was pretty useless. Dazzle reworked the Scepter. When you cast an ability, you automatically launch an attack on 8 enemy units. What? Attack people? Like Puck's Dream Coil or Io's automatic attack? When you cast an ability, you Dude, Carry Dazzle is real. I feel like this hero is just straight up a damage dealer now. Even though they nerfed the level 10 talent from 75 to 60 damage. Got the passive cooldown reduction. You're going to be casting stuff super fast. And then you just attack people 800 units away automatically. Pretty much everybody should be able to like instantly clear creep waves too, I would imagine. I guess you could already kind of do that, but really interesting change to Dazzle. I mean, core Dazzle seems like pretty much the only way to run now. Death Prophet. This hero is being picked a lot right now. Exorcism now provides a 20% move speed increase. Just straight buff. Death Prophet must be extremely good now. She was definitely very good. Dragon Knight base movement speed has been increased by 5. Make Dragon Knight's base movement speed.
I see where this road ends.
A knight in dragon's armor.
310, not bad. Raw Ranger attack animation has been improved. Wow, amazing. Early level last hitting a little bit here. Earth Spirit, agility gain has been increased by a ton. That is a lot more armor in the late game. Also, level 10 talent has been increased from 50 damage to 65 damage. Is mid Earth Spirit coming back? Oh my gosh, is mid Earth Spirit coming back? It might be. 65 damage at level 10 plus almost doubling his agility gain. Holy shit. Okay. Level 10 talent also increased the rolling boulder distance from 300 to 400. Remember, if you hit a stone, this doubles, so it's plus 800 potentially. Insane. Level 20 talent increased. Also spell amp from 15% to 20%. Earth Spirit getting pretty significant buffs in this patch. I think Crit is going to be really happy about that. Elder Titan. They also really want Jerix to come back to the game, apparently, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll demo Dazzle real quick.
Dragon
From the land
See what this looks
behind
like.
the wall, I come.
I cast a long.
Might as well.
The enemy pales when they see the face of Dota, sacred scepter. Indeed.
Prepare for battle.
What?
Safe word.
Okay, so it's tied to my ultimate.
Not so fast. Zap.
Oh. Interesting.
Healing
Okay.
here.
So
Dark light. Bravely
so
resting.
weird.
Is blunted.
What a
First
weird
blood.
scepter change.
Dazzle. Bravely.
And of course, you can use Maelstrom. Okay.
3 down.
Alright, what about this? Dude. This hero is gonna do so much damage.
Shadow.
I'm actually really excited about this. This hero is gonna be nuts. I can already tell. Anytime they give a hero one of these crazy scepters like this, it's gonna be nuts for sure. Like 100% gonna be nuts. Where were we? Okay, Elder Titan, level 20 talent, Lant, level 20 to Lant, increased from 100 Echo Stop damage to 125. Level 15 talent has been increased from 15% magic resistance to 20%. Ember Spirit, Searing Chains cooldown has been reduced from 14 scaling to 8, 11 scaling to 8. Searing Chains Monocost has been rescaled from 110 to 80 scaling to 110. Talent at level 10 has been changed from 275 Flame Guard absorption to 50. Buffs to Ember Spirit. I feel like the hero is already still being picked quite a bit. Enchantress Sproink distance has been increased from 450 to 500. I still have not seen what this ability looks like, so kind of random. Enigma base intelligence has been increased by 3. Black hole damage has been increased from 50 scaling to 150, 100 scaling to 200. So huge buff to level 1 black hole. Kind of trying to make up for the fact that Malefice is Malefice. Yeah, Malefice is used to be pure damage, right? Maledict? Dude, what am I talking about?
Shadow.
Midnight Pulse. Malefice is this. Midnight Pulse. Okay. Make it for the fact that Midnight Pulse is no longer pure damage. They're giving Black Hole a big buff at level 1. Level 2, I mean, it's still a big deal having an additional 50 damage per second. Grimstroke. Phantom's Embrace. Ren damage has been increased by 40 at level 1. Then 30, 20, 10. The level 1 Phantom's Embrace, really good. Talents, level 15 talent increased from 15% spell amp to plus 20% spell amp. Nuts. Let's see. Okay. Level 20 talent increased 60 stroke of fate cast range to plus 800. Sorry, 600 to 800. Gyrocopter attack backswing has been reduced, as if he had any already. Strength gain has been increased. Black Cannon attack count has been reduced at all levels. Black Cannon cooldown has been reduced from 40 to 20. Black Cannon duration has been reduced from 50 to 10. Interesting. Okay, so I guess it's, how does that really affect the hero? They just farm less quickly, but more often. I don't know. It's hard to say whether, I guess stacks, huge stacks are a little bit less good for Gyro, but he's able to farm more quickly on a regular basis with Flak. Hard to say if that's like a buff. Might be a buff just because you can so much more regularly. Call down missile 2 damage has been increased. Second missile it hits does way more damage now at level 1 and 2 and 3 for that matter. The cooldown has been increased to 90 seconds, scaling instead of scaling from 55 to 45. So a big nerf to call down in terms of the cooldown, but the damage has been massively increased. But then at level 20, 50-second cooldown reduction, so you can take it down to 40 if you want to over the 40 speed. People will still probably go for the movement speed because this is Gyro. He's a carry. He wants to. Huskar, Berserker's Blood, max attack speed has been reduced at all levels by a little bit. Juggernaut, rework the Scepter, grants Swift Slash, performs a mini Omni Slash that lasts 0.8 seconds. Cast range is 650, on 15, mana cost 100. What? Alright. Take a look at this.
The strength of fallen brothers and sisters flows through this relic of a fallen
Swift
race.
Slash.
Prepare for battle.
Do I just not have enough attack speed? Oh wait, no, I need levels.
Yes.
So it's 2 attacks with no items by Mask of Madness.
We fight.
3 attacks with Mask of Madness. There's like a weird delay.
Very well.
If I can shift queue it. Cast range is there, so let's go shift. Mask of Madness. So you can get up to 3 attacks that way. If we go 3 Wraith Bands and Power Treads, how many attacks?
Uh-huh.
4 attacks. Okay, interesting. So weird. So I mean, it just gives you the ability to like dodge stuff, maybe finish people off without having to expend Omni Slash. Just the ability to go invulnerable every 10 seconds is pretty nuts. Could help you clear creep waves without having to use spin. Seems like a really nice kind of vanity item or utility item. Maybe it's an every game thing. I don't know. Seems pretty good, for sure. But I don't know if it's like a super core item and see how people work with it. Keeper of the Light, level 10 talent change from plus 6% spell amp, thank God, to minus 3 blinding light cooldown. Okay, a useful talent actually. Level 15 talent change from 1 Will of the Wisp health count to 2 Flicker. Level 20 talent change from 40% magic resist 50 Will-O-Wisp AoE. That's going to take up like the entire screen. Level 25 talent change from plus 3 Will-O-Wisp Flicker to plus 3 health count. Okay. Kunkka, level 10 talent increased from plus 6 armor to 7. Trying to make people not take the 40 damage, but they probably still will. Maybe if you're playing offlane Kunkka or something, I suppose you go that. Level 25 talent increased from 60% Tidebringer Cleave to 80%. Legion Commander, level 15 talent increased from 65 overwhelming odds hero damage to plus 80. Over the attack speed, probably pretty good, especially against like Meepo and that kind of stuff. Leshrac, agility gain increased from 0.3 to 2.8. Attack backswing has reduced. Faster attack. speed, basically. Pulse Nova activation cost has been reduced from scaling to 70 at all levels. So really, really nice. Flesh Rack buffs all around. Lina attack point reduced from 0.75 to 0.65, and backspeed also been reduced. Wow, Lena's gonna feel like you can actually attack people. You're not gonna constantly cancel your attack animation. You're trying to chase people. And it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Probably pretty big bust early game Lena in terms of both harass and in harass is a 4. Lone Druid level 10 talent change from plus 25 attack range, plus 30 spirit bearer movement speed. Luna base strength has been increased from 18 to 21. Base intelligence has been increased from 18 to 23. Agility gain has been reduced. I feel like they're still pushing Luna towards a support or offlane role. Base int meaning a lot more beams. Strength meaning tankier. Offlane Luna. Alright, Lycan Feral Impulse health regen has been increased at all levels by 1. Shapeshift duration has been increased from 18 to 22. This hero already is quite strong from what I've seen. Very, very high win rate. So buffs to one of the strongest heroes in the game in the right game. Magnus Shockwave slow duration has been increased from 0.75 to 0.9. Balance level 10 increased 200 health to 250. 15 plus 75 shockwave damage plus 100. Trying to get away from right click Magnus, but probably will still be the case. Mars, God's Rebuke, Scepter now always lowers the cooldown rather than just during. And the Scepter cooldown has been changed from 1.4 to 3.5. So this makes you God's Rebuke constantly anyway without having to use your ultimate as well. Probably just like a nice quality of life change for Mars. Makes Scepter a bit more viable because you can constantly use it. A lot of damage. Put it on at 270%. Yeah, I mean, a 270% AoE cleave on a 3.5 second cooldown. Just always. I feel like this hero is way more like carry potential now even. Seems really good. Medusa level 15 talent increases from 25 Mystic Snake mana gain to 40%. Okay. Marana base damage has been increased by 2. Sacred Arrow damage has been increased at all levels. Nature's Prophet attack backswing has been reduced. Wrath of Nature cooldown has been increased from 60 to 85. Wrath of Nature now provides you with +4, +5, +6 damage per killed for 50 seconds. That's just going to make you a stronger right clicker for every unit that you killed with Wrath of Nature. Ow. That seems pretty good. So you can use it less often. I mean, that's fine. Night Stalker base intelligence increased by 2. Base health regen has been increased by 0.5. Movement speed has been increased by 5. Level 15 talent increased from 15% lifesteal to 25% lifesteal. Quite a bit at level 15. Level 25 talent increased from 40-second Dark Ascension cooldown to 60-second. Bring back carry Night Stalker, they say. Might have to with all of these changes. Ogre Magi base armor has been reduced by 1. Phoenix base health regen has been increased from 0.5 to 1, and base damage has been increased to 2. Like this hero is on the rise already. Quite good. Puck base damage has been reduced by 2. Continuing to nerf Puck. Pudge base health regen has been increased from 0 to 1. Flesh Heap now provides magic resist instead of health regen. Oh no. It's back to the old Flesh Heap. How do you play Pudge? Can't be a tank anymore in the game. I guess it's just hooks. You gotta hook people. Gotta hook people. Rip pubs even more than usual. Mugna Netherward mana drain has been rescaled to be more impactful early on. Life drain damage has been reduced at all levels. Cooldown has also been reduced from 22 seconds to 7. Scepter now also increases damage up to 400 damage per second on light screen at level 3. Okay, and the break distance reduced as well. So they basically took the scepter cooldown. I mean, it removed the cooldown and they just got rid of that. Kind of annoying. Constantly. 7-second cooldown on your ultimate, pretty nice. You're gonna be able to use this to just like blow people up constantly in the game. They do slightly less damage, and if you want to do more damage, you can get a scepter. I feel like scepter is just way worse on Pugna now in general. I mean, this extra damage is cool, I guess, but maybe. Queen of Pain Shadow Strike slow has been increased at all the later levels except for level 1. Sonic Wave cooldown has been reduced by 10 seconds. Ricky level 15 talent has been reduced from 35 damage, 30 damage. You'll go that, sure. Harry Ricky is the only way to play the hero. Rubik Fade Bolt mana cost has been increased at all early levels, scaling back up to 150. Sand King Caustic Finale slow, so just a slight nerf to Rubik game. Sand King Caustic Finale slow duration has been increased from 3 scaling to now 4.5 at max level, and now attack speed as well by the same amount. So Sand King much harder to deal with in lane. Caustic. I feel like Caustic build is definitely just the way to go now against most heroes. Why play passively sandstorming when you can own people in lane? Epicenter damage per pulse increased 3. Shadow Demon Demonic Purge increased at all levels by 50 damage on it. Silencer Intelligence Steal is now part of Glaives of Wisdom instead of being innate. Okay, so you have to have Glaives to get the int steal, I guess. Does that mean it's not retroactive? That was trying to say it's not retroactive. If you don't level Glaives of Wisdom, you don't get any int steal, I guess. Says to me. So you kind of have to go Glaives level 1 now. Or at least very early on. Even if you're a support. Talent increased at level 15. Arcane Curse slow from 12 to 14%. Clark Pounce Scepter distance reduced again, making it easier to use, but less insane to catch him once he has a scepter. Snapfire added a scepter. Gobble Up allows you to swallow an allied creeper hero and spit it towards enemies, stunning enemies in the area for 1.5 seconds and leaving a glob on the floor, dealing 100 damage per second for 3 seconds. Units can stay in his belly for up to 3 seconds. Impact radius 400. Cooldown is 40 seconds. Cast range is 150. Also increased Scatterblast cooldown at early levels. Okay, we gotta take a look at this. What is with Valve and making making heroes able to eat each other? What, they have some like weird vor fetish over at Valve, based on the Dota team.
You need something blowed up or gunned down? You come to the right place.
Once again, I assume this probably is tied
Say,
Prepare
this
for
looks
battle.
swell.
Mortimer's Kisses.
I'm in for it.
I cannot eat enemies.
Sometimes he goes where he
I can
wanna.
eat my teammate.
I'll bake a tray
That's
on the
hilarious. So obviously, the best
way.
usage of
ain't no
this
hayride.
is to do this with axe, right? Because then you just go, hiya. Wait, what?
Draw a bead.
Too far away? Get out. That is so funny. How far can I use this though? Dude, really far. What? What is it? What's the actual cast range on this?
Dusty trail.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Are you kidding me?
Falls in
Is it just the range of Mortimer's kisses? Are you serious?
Bet. Spin for your supper, ass.
The ultimate griefing tool. Tiny Airlines. Move over. We now have Snapfire Airlines, and it's way, way more hilarious. Oh my god. That is amazing. That is amazing. Alright, Sniper base damage has been increased by 4. Headshot damage has been reduced at all levels. Assassinate Scepter cast time has been reduced from 1 second to 0.5 seconds, so almost instantaneously. Spectre base HP regen has been increased from 1.5 to 2.5. Shadow Step Scepter ability cooldown has been reduced 35 seconds, so you can... Wow. Okay. Scepter is like 100% core on Spectre now. 35-second Haunt is insane. That is so good. Still laughing about the Snapfire stuff. Spirit Breaker. Rework the Scepter. Increases Charge of Darkness movement speed by 100 and reduces cooldown by 5. Alright. Right.
Locked and loaded.
Snapfire Airlines.
I'll break your spirits.
My
and
goodness.
Their backs.
Scepter. Now 6.
Prepare for battle.
Look there.
Okay. Fill up the max.
I charge.
Still 6.
Here I come.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like it's pretty underwhelming though.
The peace is
Wait till they
broken.
get a load of
Pretty
me.
meh change. Storm Spirit base attack speed has been increased. Sven base movement speed has been increased by 5. Ooh, buffs to Sven. Techies. Level 25 talent increased from plus 25 mine speed movement to plus 75. Okay, so those mines are actually pretty fast now, considering. Templar Assassin Psionic Projection Scepter ability cast time has been reduced from 2 to 1 second. So you can teleport much more quickly. Terrorblade Scepter Metamorphosis Scepter is now a standalone ability you can gain while in Metamorphosis. Cooldown is 90 seconds. So you don't just automatically fear people, I guess, but you can use it at your leisure, which is way better than just fearing people away from you all the time. So actually a very big buff to that Scepter. Also, level 10 talent increased from plus 20 movement speed to plus 25. Level 10 talent increased from plus 15% evasion to plus 20. A lot of evasion, level 10. Level 15 talent increased from plus 250 health to plus 300. Attack speed at level 15. You can also get 25 buff to 30 now. So buffs across the board for Terrorblade. Level 20 talent increased from 8-second reflection cooldown minus 10-second reflection cooldown. Tidehunter base strength has been increased by 3. Tinker, level 10 talent change from plus 125 cast range to plus 150. Level 15 talent change from plus 2-second march of the machine's duration to plus 3 seconds. Tiny, attack backswing has been reduced from 1 to 7. So I assume that means not quite as slow. There's been a lot of attack backswing changes. So animation canceling nerfed, I guess? I don't know. Nature's Guise on Tree and Protector regen amplification has been increased from plus 25% to plus 40%. Wow, that is quite nice. Tusk base movement speed has been increased by 5. Ice Shard's damage has been increased at all levels. Undying Tombstone Zombies damage has been increased by 10. Zombie. Ursa Fury Swipe's damage has been increased. Hey, they finally gave us a little bit more. And very significantly, actually. So I guess they realized that this hero is just complete garbage right now. So here we go. Fury Swipe's damage has increased from 7 scaling 28 to 10 scaling back to 40. Overpower attack count has been reduced from 4 scaling to 7 to 3 scaling to 6. Cooldown has been reduced as well to be 7 seconds at max level. And overpower mana cost has been reduced from 55 scaling to 70. So just buffs to overpower aside from the attack count, but they only lose 1 attack count. So not that big of a deal. Enrage no longer has Fury Swipe multiplier. However, it just gives you 50% status resist. Okay. And then as a result, they changed the level 25 talent from 80% status resist to +3 overpower attack. So this is a really big deal for Ursa, especially because they changed the cooldown as well. So I think Ursa suddenly has become a viable hero again. Fury Swipe damage is massive. Rage change is really big too. So I would expect to see Ursa played again, finally. And he needs to be, because there's a lot of really annoying heroes that are being played in the off lane that you kind of wanted to pick Ursa, but then you had to play Ursa, which is bad. But now you can actually play Ursa, potentially. Vengeful Spirit, Magic Missile cast range has been increased. Magic Missile damage has been scaled to be worse early and better late. Viper Strike damage has been increased at all levels. Level 10 talent has increased the spell Lifesteal choice from 8% to 10%. Visage base attack speed has been increased by 10. Soul Assumption collection rate has been increased to 1500. Soul Assumption cast range has been increased from 900 to 1000. Level 25 talent changed from -2 second Gravekeeper's Cloak to +6 Grave Cloak stacks. Forget how much you get per, but this is Gravekeeper Cloak.
There is understanding.
Get up to 80% damage reduction, but now get +6. Does that mean you have more than 100% damage reduction? You're not sure. Okay. Void added Scepter. Resonant Pulse is now a charge-based ability with 2 charges, and it now silences enemies in seconds. What? That sounds way too good. That sounds way too good. What's the restore time on that?
Before me, the map of all of time unfolds.
I see Jug Eggs.
No longer hidden.
We already covered it. If you go back
Occasionally,
in
yeah,
stream, you can see it.
I do not like to be touched. Try and strike me.
Wait, so what is the restoration? 16 seconds per charge? Or no, the charge is going to come back faster.
It is a shadow that bathes me.
Like, it's like 10, 11 second restore time. So you just go, boom.
The best you could hope no mortal hand may touch me.
Do that. You get multiple stacks of Resonant Pulse.
The void rests in my element.
Doesn't look like it just refreshes it, I think. That seems really good though. Sure, we can test it now. Why not? Why not? Just for you. Okay, so I've got 10 stacks of Gravekeeper's Cloak.
Prepare for
What
battle.
is my damage reduction?
I take wing.
Dude. This hero is so tanky. Holy shit, and the restore time is really fast. 3 seconds for a layer to recover? Oh my god, it reduces the entire thing! Holy shit! That seems kind of overpowered. Not gonna lie. Oh my god. Takes so long to cut through him. Jeez.
None may flee death.
I abhor the blindness of the mortal plane.
Alright. Interesting. Warlock Shadow Word cast point has been improved from 0.5 to 0.4. Level 10 talent has been increased from 150 cast range to 175. Level 20 talent has increased from 300 Shadow Word AoE to 375. Weaver's base intelligence has been increased from 13 to 16. Intelligence gain has been increased by 0.2 per level. Mono regen base has been as well. So just buffs to Weaver early game, being able to Shikuchi more. Movement speed bonus has been increased from 225 to starting at 220, scaling up to 280. Wind Ranger intelligence gain has been increased from 3 to 6. More damage, more mana. Winter Wyvern Cold Embrace is now considered a heal instead of regen. So that will be affected by these heal reduction things, but also benefit from like Holy Locket or something like that, I guess. Witch Doctor Paralyzing Cask mana costs have been reduced very significantly early on. Deathward's Scepter no longer has a bounce limit. Oh my gosh. So you can just, it just will bounce everywhere. You can hit everybody. Isn't this how Deathward used to be? It is, right? So it'll just hit like every hero on your screen.
I am
Good. Test this out real quick.
The doctor is in. Well, well.
If I remember correctly,
Prepare for
this is
battle.
how Deathward. Oh my god, it's so good.
Very fine.
Four down.
I'll have your skull
Can
in
I-
my satchel.
Can I hit people like
Yes.
all the way around in a whole circle?
For what?
Alright, let's try.
And down
Maybe
they
not
all
if they're
go.
out of vision, but if they're in vision, yes. I'll take it. That's a big buff to Witch Doctor.
Bones and spells I come.
Big buffs in general to Witch Doctor. Wraith King Vampiric Aura Lifesteal has been reduced at all levels. Lifesteal, however, and damage on your hero is now 1.5. So 40% lifesteal for Wraith King. Oh, not 40, 30%. Zeus base movement speed has been increased from 295 to 300, and attack point has been improved as well. Whew. Okay, so that is the end of gameplay update 7.25. That is a lot to digest. Lots of big changes. Lots of buffs. All of a sudden, just tons of buffs to heroes, buffs to items. A few nerfs here and there. No changes to heroes like Slardar, which is kind of interesting. Lots of scepter buffs for the most part. Seems like there's a bunch of pretty broken stuff from what I saw. We'll see how it affects the game. I'm excited to play some more games and see how this all feels, especially with the new picking mechanics, the new comeback mechanics being removed, different spree mechanics. There's a lot to digest here. I would just suggest going out and playing. I don't really know what the meta is going to look like. Probably similar in terms of being able to fight early and often, but who knows who's viable? Probably everybody at the moment. Good luck in your games. Thank you as always for tuning in, and we'll see you in another video very soon. All right, guys. So, could you please try Deathward on PL Illusion? Did it ever work on PL Illusion? Did it get more difficult to play support? I
Witch
mean,
doctor.
maybe.
Prepare for battle.
Just hits the real PL. Alright guys, well, I opened the stream. I'm going to go edit that video and put it over on Dota Alchemy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Free to subscribe to the channel as I will be streaming more, but wanted to thank you for your great questions and for hanging out with me as we digest this new patch. Lots to take in, so I'm very excited to play. I think there's going to be a bunch of heroes that were viable or a bunch of heroes that weren't viable that are now viable. I mean, this Ursa change is huge, for example. So, cool. I'm stoked. I'm gonna end the stream there, but I will be back playing at some point soon. So I appreciate you, and we'll see you guys soon.